Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are getting to Fire Force Season 2, Episode 7. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. It's been about 2 months since we last reacted to Fire Force, and we're entering a new arc. We took off the break. We took off some time. We took a break, as you know, because um, I wanted to get all the episodes downloaded. I was having trouble getting all the episodes downloaded um, be, because the site that I used to get those specifically from was giving me shit. And it would take forever, and it was so slow, so monotonous. And so I decided we're going to take a break from this. We're at the end of an arc here, so we'll take a break, get everything else for the rest of the season downloaded, and then come back to it. And we're probably going to need another break before the season ends, but yeah, we'll at least be able to go for now because we've got everything downloaded now. During the break, I discovered Opera GX as a browser. I've been using that, and that helped me get the rest of the episodes a lot quicker than Chrome was. So, yeah, we are all set to continue. Our crew is heading to China. We have a group of our heroes heading to China for the next part of the series. I don't know how long this arc is going to last, but we'll see. I also have no idea what to expect because we just came off of an arc that introduced a new character who unfortunately left to go to the bad guy's side for now, at least. That'll probably end up changing, but it's unclear. So we'll just have to see. We will just have to see exactly where it goes. So, hoping for the best. But yeah, we're just going to get into this and see what this series continues to have in store. So, for now, let's begin. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so the journey into China begins, and we have talking animals. That was honestly the last thing I was expecting. But it seems like the main theory behind it is somehow the Adola burst or the Cataclysm caused this. Don't know how, but whatever. That's what we're working with. The point is we have talking animals. The mole apparently is of a group that used to live at the Oasis. Presumably the crows as well. But they were run out by hellhounds, as we find out, which are basically infernal dogs. They are literally dogs that have become infernals, which is a new concept. I didn't know animals could become infernals. I don't think we've seen that before. I think it's only just been people. So it's like that's interesting. Dogs that have become infernals, and they seem to have some level of intelligence, maybe, to have actively run the moles and the other animals out of the Oasis and taken over. Which definitely adds in a whole new level of what the fuck is going on here. The Oasis itself seems to be like given life and you know, plant life and water and shit, everything oases usually have, thanks to a smaller older version of Amaterasu, which is really fascinating. That's probably the most fascinating aspect of this. Like when they first revealed that, it's like Sheena's like, "The fuck is that doing here?" I'm like, "What? Show me, please!" Like you can't just react like this and not expect me to get interested. um, and then it shows, and it's like that. It's like that's Amaterasu. It's like, oh, yeah. What is that doing here? Um, but putting it together, it's got to be like an original. It's got to be like maybe they tried to do the Amaterasu thing here first, and it didn't entirely work according to their plans, and so they changed it to the Tokyo Empire. I don't know. It's hard to say. But this oasis also has remnants of the pre-cataclysm world in it. Pre-cataclysm cars and signs and whatnot, which is even more fascinating. Maybe maybe this Amaterasu was the original, but it also is pre-cataclysm. What if the Amaterasu as we know it in Tokyo is based off of something that was created pre-cataclysm and maybe even caused the cataclysm? That's I think a reasonable guess, honestly. Um, Outside of this big important stuff, this episode also did have some little lighthearted moments. With the gas making everyone loopy, except for Victor because he's the only one who wore a mask. Um, and it's like just silliness, nothing really that important or anything. We also got to meet Tata's. I think that's his name. I don't know. I'm not great with names. But we got to meet his parents, mostly his mother, and that kind of led into finding the mole because the mole was the one who had been stealing the potatoes from their farm and everything. So yeah, and we find out that he's only been doing it because he has to gather food because they've been kicked out of the oasis. So yeah. As for the entire argument they're having at the end there, it's like, oh, fire force, we're not supposed to get involved. Like, fighting should be our last resort. We don't want to instigate anything here. We're under orders to not instigate anything here. But Shinra and surprisingly Tamaki are like, no, no, no. We should do this. We have to find out what we can. The fact that Tamaki was agreeing with him is really surprising. um, but yeah, I, I personally side with Shinra here as well. Like, it's unclear if Shinra was slipping back into like his crazy form there for a second. Um, but I actually do agree with what he was suggesting and all. The thing is, they are there to find out this information. If something actively gets in the way to the point where it is a hindrance to their mission, they need to take care of that. Like, yeah, you shouldn't like necessarily go out seeking fights and everything. Like like, I can kind of agree to like, oh, you shouldn't necessarily instigate it, but if you need to do it, you need to do it. If it's something that you can't avoid, which this very much seemed to be the case, then you have to do it. I again, I agree with Shinra that it's like they're there for a reason. This is their literal mission. They can't just abandon it because of possible enemies, hostile enemies, even if they were human. It's like I can understand the idea of like, oh, let's try to negotiate first, but it's like you're being told multiple times negotiation won't work. It's like just just realize that and be prepared to fight. Don't let your guard down at all. So, yeah, I was on Shinra's side here. But I'm, as always, interested to see where this goes. This is definitely fascinating to me. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Fire Force? And are you as excited to be back to it as I am? Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.